So context, as a parent, especially as a new parent, you have just like new priorities in your life. You have to take care of your kid. You got to make sure you're doing well so that you can pay the bills. Your priorities shift. You don't really have time for AAA games or games that, are expansive and have big worlds and require you to collect a lot of things, etc., etc. As somebody who is a casual gamer but has loved gaming since I can remember, I've always wondered, okay, what is a game that I can pick up and just quickly put down, right? It's a game that I can play around and then be done with it. And for me, that's Rocket League. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, okay, what the heck is Rocket League? Is this like a spaceship game? What is this? So Rocket League, to put it in the most simple of ways, is basically soccer with cars. Car soccer. On July 7th, 2015, developer Psyonix released a video game called Rocket League. Now, Rocket League wasn't a completely brand new concept. In fact, it has a predecessor called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. Try to say that one 5 times fast. Now, the difference was that they obviously upgraded the graphics, they changed some of the play styles that you could do in the new game. It also became available on Steam, so it was beyond just the PlayStation. It opened up this world of possibilities because you can now face other opponents around the world. The aim of the game basically is for you to score goals with your car by hitting this gigantic ball into your opponent's net. Sounds really simple, right? It's actually kind of a challenging game. I'd say that anybody with a controller and with access to the game can pick it up. But the game itself is actually free right now on the PlayStation Shop. You can download it for free and play for free. You don't have to pay a single penny as long as you have either a PS4 or you have Steam on your computer and a controller. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game and how it kind of works and what gives it that addictive quality that it has. So with Rocket League, you can go into the menu, you can play a few different things. You can play 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and then there's other little sub mini games like spike ball and this rendition of basketball. It's like a hoop that you have to put the ball through. The game that I always play pretty much is the 2v2. I usually play casual because I can't be bothered with all those tournaments and all that drama. I feel like that just adds an element of stress to the game that I just don't need. But I love to play the casual 2v2. It's a lot of fun. The great thing about it is that it has a matchmaking system. So what it does is it looks at your stats, it looks at your previous games, it looks at your level, a few other metrics that it looks at, and it builds that into the algorithm and it supports basically how it pairs you with other players around the world. Now, there's plenty of folks that might say that it's kind of a broken system, whatever, but it does do a decent job of pairing you with opponents and a teammate or teammates who have pretty much generally the same skill level as you. And as you get better, your opponents get better too, and it kind of keeps pushing you to improve. Now, occasionally with the matchmaking, I've found, I'd say I'm like very much intermediate. Now there's folks, and shout out to these people, but they get so good at the game that they can actually dribble the ball with their car while they're flying and then just like flip it into the net. The muscle memory that it takes to perform such a thing it blows my mind. In fact, occasionally I'll be like paired with one of these opponents and I'm just sitting there helplessly staring at this ball just flying slowly into the net, knowing that I have no ability to stop it. Those are the moments where I say, nice shot, abandon match. It sounds like an easy concept, but I have to say the skill ceiling for Rocket League is very high. When you start, like literally just hitting the ball might be a struggle, but you get to a point where you can flip and strategize and you start to become really good at saving the ball. There's so many aspects of the game that like you need to get better and better by just doing it. There's a lot of chirping in the game as well. So in Rocket League, on your D-pad, there's actually quick chat features. So if you've played Rocket League, well, you know that there's a few standard statements that come in there. One of my favorite ones is, what a save! Usually use it ironically. It's part of the Rocket League culture. Obviously, yeah, you can put a headset on and you can talk, but I find it's more fun to just use the quick chat features. Now, let's talk about customization. In-game, there are tons and tons of different customization options. I'm talking, you can change the color of your car, you can change the boost color, you can change the goal explosion. So when you score a goal, there's some sort of animated thing that pops out of the goal and it sort of like sends a message to your opponent. There's also like your name tag can be altered. So like you're an expert, you're skilled, world or whatever have you. There's so many different options that the game allows you to customize, and you might be wondering, okay, so do I have to pay money for those things? I'd say yes and no. On one hand, you can play this game without ever spending a penny, which is fantastic for someone like me who could not care less. Now you can, of course, you can buy credits. Yeah, you can go crazy spending money on these customizations, but the funny thing about this is that they are simply aesthetic. There is absolutely no advantage to having these customizations that you've paid money for. When you see people with crazy, ridiculous customized cars, basically somebody spent a crap ton of money on the video game. Anyhow, to each their own. I think it's really fun. You can really get caught up in spending money on this, but I personally just let the game kind of give me rewards as I progress. Good, so we talked about customization. So let's talk about why, as a parent, I think this is a great game. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel, I have a full-time job, I have a daughter. I don't have time in a day. So I typically will find maybe, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the night to play a round of Rocket League with my husband. For me, it's that easy. It's like a game you can pick up and you can put down if duty calls. You just have a lot of fun. It's just such a great little game. I would even put it on the pedestal with games like Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing or something like that, right? But yeah, Rocket League, it's free to play. It's easy to pick up. It's difficult to get good at. And overall, it's just a really fun game for a parent to play. If you enjoyed this video today, please consider subscribing to my channel. My channel covers 3 different topics, typically tech, video games, and also parenting advice as a new parent. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.